Hey, what's up everyone? I thought I'd make this short video on the key to get good aim, and it's basically breaking it into two parts. One is having good mechanics, and two is having good game sense. If you really want to have good mechanics, it's very difficult to get consistent kills if you don't have good game sense. And how to achieve good game sense in all games is just obtaining them either by watching other people or by looking at it. Firstly, you have to think of your opponent's eyes and where they will be. Obviously, if you were to be playing a game and you don't know what your opponent sees, how do you know if you're in a good spot? Most games are trying to make it fair so that both people have an equal chance of killing each other, but they're not perfect, and you can definitely find spots or even weapons or abilities or anything that gives you an edge, and that's the best way you have to do it. And if you wanted to find the map, like the spots in the map that you want to be at, or the spots, like the parts of the map that you want to worry about, spend some time with a friend and just look around and see where you have the upper hand or even the lower hand, like whatever. And watch the pros. The pros don't usually take any bad spots, and when they are serious, you'll see the spots that are insured. Like there's some maps that they have the same spot, even though people could know it's just that much of a dominant area. Um, Another tip is for game sense is depending on the game, use your utility, use the abilities. If you have grenades, ultimates, whatever. Like for an example, Valorant. Killjoy has an ult, and her ult is extremely strong on defense. While it's not perfect, like it can be broken, but it usually is so strong that a lot of people will actually avoid the site if they know the Killjoy's on that site. Or if they use her ult, they'll actually rotate to the other site. If she's on B, they'll go to A, simply because of how difficult she is to work around. And if people are in her ult and the timer runs out, it's essentially like a free kill. And that's all that game sense is seeing where the easiest kills are and how to make the easiest kills. Right? The easier the better. You don't need to make difficult shots. You don't need to practice difficult shots if you never need to take them, right? Practice for what you take. If you're going to be practicing to take a bunch of difficult shots, okay, then, practice them. But if you're going to be practiced to making simple shots, learn how to get simple and easy shots. The best players don't do anything fancy, and it doesn't look like they're any good, but then when you actually, if you've ever versed against them or even like heard about people versing against them, it feels unfair because they have such a short window, right? Because they want to have the highest success rate to killing the opponent. Now, on to how to refine your like mechanics, right? Now, this is the kind of thing that some people just spend hours and hours in aim lab or hours and hours in the shooting range, and that is good. You're definitely going to improve, but it's like you want to improve on a good habit. So it's almost like you need to rewire it. Now, a lot of the things that you need to check off is your mouse sensitivity proper and your mouse like space. If you have a higher sense, you don't need as much mouse space. But if you don't have enough mouse space, well, how are you gonna like be able to shoot around people? And if you don't have enough mouse sensitivity or you're undershooting, overshooting, how are you meant to be consistent? So once you get enough mouse space and obviously a sensitivity that fits you, then you can start looking at these tips, right? Valorant, for example, if you play Valorant and that's like your main game, you don't need as high of a sense, but if you play like Apex, having a higher sense may actually help you, but it isn't needed. Like you could have the same sense for Valorant and Apex, right? And both be fine. But if you want to get better, it's easier to have a lower sense because it's easier to be more accurate. Now there are some people who have really fast sense, so that's totally fine. Now, refining your shooting. The most important thing, in my opinion, is accuracy. It doesn't matter how fast you are at the enemy's head if you're uncoordinated, overshooting, undershooting, and you miss. You don't need to start at full speed, but if you just start where it's easy, you can get much faster, much quicker. If you were to go on to Valorant and versus the bots and just do the 30s, where you just have to kill 30 as fast as you can, right? That's easy. You might think, oh, the easy difficulty is too easy. And you go to medium and you're struggling, you're just flailing your arm. Well, go into the easy, give yourselves a little bit more of a challenge where you have to use a pistol and you have to get 2 headshots or something that, still is more challenging, but progressively overloads you a little bit simpler, right? You don't want to make too big of a jump and then struggle. And if you were to play aim lab, go into precision-based tasks. My personal favorite is 6-shot, since the kind of orbs that you're supposed to hit are very small, so it makes it very precise, and you can't go fast. And once you kind of get that accuracy down, like you're able to consistently be around the same area, like let's say you play 6 shot a bunch and you really get it down, then you can start going for, tracking. Now you might think, oh, now it's speed. No. If you, let's say, were to turn 90 degrees and your friend were to turn 270 degrees, he would have to turn so much faster than you. And it's an extreme example, but it's the same way as in, like, if someone would be on your right and you did a more swayed path, you would end up having a harder time killing them, because in a lot of shooters is a tenth of a second is what really matters. So you really want to make sure that you have fast and like coordinated straight line paths, or paths that are straight towards the target. Once you can consistently get that down, you kind of need to combine them both, like the accuracy and the straight path. So use a lot of the tracking ones in AimLab, for example, or if you're in the bots in Valorant, go slow, like on easy difficulty, and just make sure you get as straight of a line as possible, because soon enough it'll be muscle memory and you can go as fast as you want and you'll still have a straight line. Now once you actually get a straight path and an accurate shot, now it's speed. Now it's the fun part. Now it's the part that you see all the insanely like talented YouTubers or streamers do. That's where they're really fast. But if you start too fast, you'll just lose all that practice you have for your accurate shot and your straight path. But you need to start at a speed that's comfortable. And now is just the time of, playing at your speeds, playing at what you know you can do. Take the shots you know you can take. Hold the angles you know you can kill them at. And if you don't know, try. That won't hurt. But slowly adjust your game if you see problems, refine them if whatever. But it's mainly just up to, using your aim in game now. Because once you have the accuracy, now it's just speed, and speed just comes with time. It's much easier to have a good habit and build upon that and build the speed with it. Like typing, for example. Typing is one of the things that I had to switch. I had my own typing style, and I could reach 40 words per minute when I first started trying to actually do type racer. And when I, kept on training, I got up to 60 words, but that was as fast as I could, and I still had a bunch of mistakes, and it was very uncoordinated, right? I had bad habits. So then I was like, okay, I'll restart. And I did restart, and I was at 30, 20 words per minute, and I was much slower. But now I'm at 70 words per minute, and I'm still improving. I can still feel the improvement. I still have times where I'm going at 120 words per minute. And it's much easier to learn and increase with the right base, with the right foundation. It's super easy. I mainly made this video because I've seen some of my friends who've had, plateaus in their aiming, and it's almost like you need to take a step back, see where it's wrong, and it could be very early. Like some people have a problem with their aim, and it's because their sensitivity's too high. You have to really go back far, and some people don't like that, but it's just how it is. And I thought I could guide more people than just my friends just by telling them. And if you guys do find this video at all helpful, let me know by leaving a like or whatever. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll be happy to reply to them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.